Hello there, boys and girls. I hope that you are enjoying all of the lessons that we have been posting online. Now, this week, the Related Arts team has been working with space. So today we are going to be making a rocket ship and we are going to launch it using a straw. Now, I am posting other lessons online with rocket ships that you can do. Many of them have materials that you might not have at home. So I tried to choose one that almost everybody at home probably have access to these items or items that they could use in place of them to make it work. So for today's lesson, you're going to need a piece of paper. Now I will be posting a template for today, but if you don't have access to a printer, you can go ahead and draw it. I'm going to draw mine today. You will need a straw. You will need tape and scissors. And then the only other item that you might also want to use is a measuring tape so that you can measure the distance and see how far your rocket ship was able to launch. Because I'd love to hear the distances that everybody's flew. So what you're going to need to do is take a sheet of paper and you are going to draw a rocket ship on here. Okay, so I have a picture of one. Now I am not an artist by any means, okay, but I drew one that was similar to the template online. And then I also just made one. It doesn't have to match what it is. Be creative. Color it. Do whatever you want. But your idea is to make sure that you have your rocket, okay? Then what you're going to need to do is you're going to fold your paper in half. This will cut down on the amount of tape that you need to use for launching it, okay? So now what we're going to do is you can cut it straight this way and use it as a rectangle, or if you really want to be precise, then you can cut around the whole thing, but you will need to tape it so only an opening at the bottom of the spaceship is open to insert the straw so that you can blow it and see how far it will launch. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stop this recording and I'm going to do it and then I'll show you the next step. Now, boys and girls, after you have designed your rocket ship from the sheet of paper, what you're going to need to do is you can cut it out either just in the rectangle like I mentioned. You can completely cut it out, but what's going to be important is that you tape all of the pieces around except for a small area at the bottom where the straw is going to be inserted. Okay, so here I have one that's rectangular, okay, very simple to make. And then I have my rocket ship that looks like a rocket ship because I cut it out in the same shape. And then I also made one that is smaller, okay? Now you also can make different ones. Now this one, I only made it one-sided. It doesn't matter. These ones though, I went ahead and made them both colorful because that is fun, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be going outside with my children and we are going to launch these and see how far they go, okay? Now if it's too windy outside, you can definitely do it inside. That would eliminate the wind from blowing your rockets. If the wind's blowing it too much outside, we will need to do ours inside as well. Okay, but it's so nice outside. So I want to make sure I enjoy the day. I hope you guys do too. Okay, boys and girls, now we are outside. We are ready to try out our rocket ships. So what I have done here is I've put out a tape measure and we're gonna line up on that line at the starting and we're gonna all launch them at the same time and see how far it goes. Now I do feel this wind which will affect the distance our rocket ships fly, so we'll see if it does it so much that we need to go inside and try it out. So stay tuned. Now when they get ready to launch theirs, they're gonna make sure they do one solid blow of air. They don't want to just blow up the rocket ship, they want to launch it off. So they're just gonna do one intense blow and it should launch our rocket ships. So on your mark, get set, fly! Sorry, I accidentally stopped it. So now here are where the rocket ships have landed. Now what you can do with, if you're outside with sidewalk chalk, you can mark where they have landed. Now if you do have a sibling that's doing it too, you guys could always put initials next to them so that you know which one was whose. And then we can actually line it up over here. So it looks like Huntley's went about 35 inches and Haley's 24. Went about, I would say about 27. And we could actually get another straight line to figure it out. So let's launch them again to see, is that the only distance that it goes? Okay, now we are going to try it for our second time. 3, 2, 1, blast off! And now we can measure once again where they landed. Now the wind's picking up, so we want to, whoops, Huntley's moved, he's up there. So what I would recommend if you're doing it outside right after it launches, to go ahead and move right to it. You could put a rock or something on top so it doesn't blow. So Haley's was 69 this time, and Huntley's was about 23 inches. Now you can keep launching yours to see how they're doing. You can compare, you can see what the average length yours flew, okay, the average distance. You can do whatever you want with it. Now I'm going to be ending my video now, but please continue to work with this. Okay, we just had Huntley launch one that was even further than Haley's that time. So you guys can just have some fun competition with maybe a parent or a sibling if you have one. I'd love to see some pictures of how you guys made your rocket ships and how far they go.